All right, let's talk DragonCon. Today, we are gearing up for an absolutely epic quest. And this explainer? This is your treasure map. We're going to focus on how you can conquer the entire convention with a little help from your allies at Disability Services. So, let's get this adventure started.
First things first, just take a breath, get comfortable. Whether this is your very first DragonCon or you're a seasoned veteran, you know that preparing for this thing is half the battle. We're going to arm you with everything you need to know.
And trust me, it is a marathon, not a sprint. We are talking 5 full days of nonstop pop culture goodness. It's a massive, sprawling event, and that is exactly why a good plan is your best friend.
Yeah, the convention isn't just long, it is physically huge. This Kingdom of DragonCon stretches across 6 city blocks in downtown Atlanta. And oh yeah, it's built on a pretty steep hill, so just getting around requires a little bit of strategy.
So that's the million-dollar question, right? How are you supposed to gear up for 5 days across this massive urban landscape, especially if you have a disability that makes getting around tricky? Well, the good news is you don't have to do it alone.
So, your very first stop on this grand quest is to meet your allies. Think of them as your quest givers. These are the amazing folks at DragonCon Disability Services, or as you'll hear everyone call it, DCDS.
And here's where you'll find their guild hall. When you go to pick up your badge at the Cortland Grand, that's the old Sheridan, just look for the DCDS signs. They're set up in the back of the Capitol Ballroom. This is going to be your home base for any and all accessibility needs.
Okay, now this is super important to get right from the start. The whole philosophy here is reasonable accommodation. What does that mean? It's all about providing equal access so that you can participate just like any other attendee. It's not a system for avoiding frustration or getting special treatment. The goal is to level the playing field, not to give you a cheat code to skip lines just because they're annoying.
This brings us to your first real choice, getting your badge. You've got 2 paths. Path 1 is the main registration line, and honestly, it moves surprisingly fast. So if you are physically able to stand and move through that line, that is absolutely the best and usually the quickest way to go. The DCDS badge service is there specifically for people whose disability makes navigating that main line impossible.
And look, the DCDS volunteers themselves will tell you this. If you can get your badge from the main line, please do. It keeps their line clear for the folks who have no other option. Think of it as your first heroic act of the con. You're helping the whole community have a smoother start.
Okay, so once you've checked in with your quest givers at DCDS, they're going to hook you up with your Adventurer's Toolkit. We're talking stickers and services designed to make your journey a whole lot easier.
These stickers are basically your magic items. They're a quick, discreet way to let the volunteer staff know what you need. You've got your wheelchair sticker for cutout seating, the SILR sticker for end-of-row seats, a proximity sticker if you have vision or hearing needs, and one for service animals to make sure they have a safe space.
And here's a fun little piece of con lore for you. C-lore. It's one of the most common accommodations. It stands for seat in line/end of row. But how do you say it? The community, for years, has pronounced it sillier, as in, this whole situation gets sillier every year. It's a great way to remember it.
Now, beyond the seating stickers, DCDS has other essential gear. There's an accessible shuttle, a special viewing area for the parade. But listen up, this is important. Some of these things, like getting approval for a personal care attendant or PCA, have to be arranged in advance. You can't just show up at the con and sort this out. Plan ahead.
All right, you've got your toolkit. Now let's talk about actually navigating the kingdom itself. Because moving between these massive hotels, well, that's a quest all on its own.
Your absolute best friends for getting around are going to be the habit trails. What are those? They're the indoor sky bridges that connect the Hyatt, the Marriott, and the Hilton. They are your secret passages. Using them means you get to avoid the heat, the crowds, and that big hill out on the street.
Okay, the elevators. They are the stuff of DragonCon legend, a true challenge. But you, my friend, have a secret weapon. Here's your plan. If you've been waiting for an elevator for way too long, find one of those white house phones in the elevator bank. Call hotel security, and I stress hotel security, not DragonCon, and they can actually take control of an elevator and send it to you. This is an absolute game changer.
Now, every good map marks the treacherous spots. So a few heads ups.
The lift that used to connect the Hyatt to the Peachtree Center food court, it's gone. That path is stairs only now. The ramp in the habit trail between the Marriott and the Hilton has a super sharp turn that larger scooters might struggle with. And the main entrance to the Westin on Peachtree Street has steps. You'll want to use the side ramp. Knowing these hazards ahead of time will save you a ton of hassle.
Every Noble Quest has a code of conduct, right? Understanding the rules of engagement here is crucial. It ensures the system stays fair for everybody, and, just as importantly, you know exactly what to expect.
So let's talk about that social contract. DCDS guarantees you an equal opportunity to experience DragonCon. What it does not guarantee is a front row seat, the right to skip to the head of the line, or getting into a panel that's already full. Remember, if a room hits capacity, it's full for everyone, no exceptions.
And this right here, this is probably the most critical rule of all, especially for those big popular panels. Disability seating is loaded before they open the doors to the main line. If you show up after general loading has already started, there is no guarantee there will be any accessible seats left. So what's the takeaway? For that panel you absolutely cannot miss, you have to get there early, like really, really early.
Look, sometimes things go wrong. A volunteer might not know the rules. This is where you have to learn the powerful art of self-advocacy. If there's a problem, stay calm. Clearly state what you need. If that doesn't work, get the volunteer's name and politely ask to speak to their director. Climbing the chain like this solves almost everything. And if it doesn't, that's when you call in the cavalry at DCDS.
Phew, we have covered your allies, your toolkit, how to navigate the kingdom, and the rules of the road. So let's take a quick victory lap and nail down the biggest lessons for your quest.
So here it is, your final quest checklist. Number 1, DCDS in the Cortland Grand is your ally. 2, use the main badge line if you're able. 3, your most powerful weapon is self-advocacy. 4, hotel staff are your secret allies for elevators. And 5, the golden rule, for that big panel, get there, say it with me, extra early.
And there you have it. You've got the map, you've got your allies, you have the Adventurer's Toolkit. You are officially prepared to take on the amazing, chaotic, wonderful kingdom of DragonCon. Now go. Your adventure is waiting. Have an incredible time.